You walk into a small karaoke bar in Manila, and the man behind the counter, who just handed you a bottle of Red Hose, suddenly belts out Whitney Houston like he's been training his whole life. No stage lights, no autotune, just raw, flawless talent. This isn't rare. From nurses in Dubai to fishermen in Palawan, from YouTube to cruise ship lounges across the globe. Why does it seem like every Filipino is born with a mic in their hand? And more importantly, why does the internet keep saying that it's true? In this episode of Future Folklore, we are diving into the strange but beautiful belief that Filipino people are natural-born singers. It sounds like a compliment, and it is in a way, but beliefs, even flattering ones, can become myth. And when they spread across TikTok, karaoke bars, and viral talent shows, they start to take on a life of their own. Today, we'll explore how this stereotype, this legend, came to be. We'll trace its roots through colonial history, family rituals, and the way music travels across island and oceans. We'll follow the rise of the karaoke machine, meet real voices behind viral fame, and we'll ask the question, what does it mean when the world believes a whole nation can sing like an angel? Is it praise, pressure, or something more powerful? To understand why so many Filipinos can sing, you have to understand the story of the Philippines. Music here isn't just art, it was really a form of survival. Centuries of colonization by the Spanish, then the USA, didn't just bring religion and politics, they brought instruments. Hymns, choirs, marching bands. Spanish priests taught locals to sing in churches. The United States brought public schools and music class with them. Music wasn't just entertainment, it was education and assimilation. Filipino culture absorbed all of it, made it their own, and traditional kundaman songs, which once spoke of love, soon doubled as subtle protest during these occupational moments. When your voice is the only thing you own, singing becomes more than performance. It becomes protest, it becomes prayer, and it becomes power. In the 1970s, a Japanese inventor created the karaoke machine. But in the Philippines, it became a little bit like the national sport. There's a joke that every Filipino home has two things, a rice cooker and a karaoke machine. And it's probably not far from the truth. Karaoke is part of every birthday party, every funeral, every town fiesta. It's how families bond, how neighbors show off, how emotions are released. And with it has come an unspoken rule. You better be good. And the stakes can be quite serious. There's a thing called the Mayway killings. It was a series of violent incidents linked to people singing Frank Sinatra's My Way off-key in public. It's funny until it's not. Karaoke isn't just fun. It's pressure, it's pride. And that pressure, it shapes talent. Constant practice, constant listening, generations of kids growing up, training their voices without even realizing it. And then came the internet. Suddenly, videos of Filipinos singing in malls, on sidewalks, or inside public bathrooms went viral. There's Arnold Pineda, once singing in Manila bars, now the lead singer of Journey. There's Charis Pempengo, whose YouTube covers landed her on The Ellen Show and Glee back in the day. There are thousands of nameless, unverified videos of stunning voices, filmed on cracked smartphones that leave millions in awe. TikTok amplified this even more. Filipino workers abroad began sharing their duets, lip-singing, live karaoke battles. One day you're a domestic worker in Hong Kong, the next you're being called the next Whitney Houston. The stereotype grew legs. Filipinos are good at singing became a comment, then a meme, then an assumption. A flattering one, but it's still a myth. So what happens when people expect you to be good at something just because of where you're from? What happens when you don't have perfect pitch? When your voice cracks? When you don't want to sing at all? That's the other side of the legend. In many Filipino families, being shy is fine unless it's your turn to sing. Then you're killing the vibe if you don't. There's pressure to entertain, to impress, and to represent. Even children feel it, taught to perform in school programs, church events, and family reunions. And when they leave the country to work abroad, singing becomes a form of currency. It's a way for them to connect, to survive loneliness, to prove worth in these foreign lands. For many overseas Filipinos, singing is their link to being back home. So yes, it's a gift, but it can feel a little bit like a duty in a sense, as it sometimes carries a lot of weight with it. But despite this pressure, the truth is beautiful. Music is a thread in the Filipino soul. It lives in jeepneys where radio blasts original Filipino music. It lives in church choirs where voices harmonize after typhoons. It lives in long distance calls from mothers to children, humming lullabies from across the ocean. Filipinos sing not because they're told to, they sing because it's how they remember, how they hope, how they stay human. In a world that demands silence so often, the Filipino voice insists on being heard. So, is it true? Is every Filipino a great singer, the best there's ever been? Not literally. But the belief itself, this myth, reveals something deeper. It reveals how culture, technology, and migration shape the way people are seen. It reveals how a karaoke machine can become a stage and a lifeline. It reveals how modern myths aren't just always made up, they're sung into being. And maybe that's the lesson here, that myths don't always have to be warnings. Sometimes they can just be music.